Well, I guess we'll start with the free throws. I mean, they really
we
won that
improved.
for you
Let's
guys.
go.
You know, just
free throw percentage is on the rise. I love it. I love it.
You know, in those final 4 minutes, what started clicking? I mean, that
we made
really
the ones that matter, and we did some stuff the last few days to get their minds right, and we're going to get better. I'm telling you, in the end, Abu Kijab's going to shoot 75% from the line, maybe even more. He's going to get on a lot of makes because it was weird too. Like some of the ones he missed went all the way down and came back out. It was like, whoa, that was good. But that was a test of his mind, and he passed the test by making the big ones that counted.
I know it obviously wasn't a must-win game, so to speak, but with you guys,
they're all must-win in college basketball, and you know what? It's hard to win one game in college basketball, no matter who you're playing, no matter you look especially this year seems really weird. I remember the days where you'd see one upset every 2 weeks or whatever. Now you're like 4 a night as far as crazy upsets and this and that. I think there's just a lot of good teams out there, a lot of good coaches, a lot of good players. I mean, that's a team, when you talk about Tulsa, 2 years ago, I believe they won the AAC. Last year, they beat Memphis twice. I mean, Frank knows what he's doing. He has a great program, and they have good players. And, Horn's a cagey veteran that has been scoring a lot of points. And I think he had 26 the other night against Oral Roberts in a game that they kind of they kind of got robbed a little bit at the end, I thought, and so that that's a really good team that we had to grind out with, and that's been the case in all the teams we played, and but that almost felt like a release game, like okay, now we're kind of coming into our own. Now we're making threes. Now we're and turnovers. I think that was a bit of an anomaly that we haven't had problems with turnovers. It's a little bit how they play. They're really aggressive. So when we kept the ball, we shot a great percentage, the best we've shot all year. But we just had some goofy ones too, just throwing it right to them.
But I mean, with 4:59 left, you're down 7. I mean, in a game that to pull it off, I think you finished on a 14-2 run.
Yeah.
And just to, I know you say they're all must wins, but I mean, it was a game that it's a swing game for you. What's it mean to pull it out like that?
And those are games when you are able to win a game like that. That's so much more valuable than beating a team by 30. Because those are league games. That what you just saw is a Tuesday night league game or a Friday night league game. That's what that is, and that gives you that moxie and confidence to know that no matter what happens, we can take it the last 5-6 minutes, and we in that last timeout with about 6:50 to go, we looked each other in the eye and let's go get this done now, and we did it with great defense, and we got a big steal in the press there, and that didn't amount to anything, but it kind of got them on their heels a little bit, I thought.
He almost posted a triple-double.
He almost messed around and got a triple-double, Jay. Right.
How big was he tonight? That three where Boo found him, with whatever 5 minutes to go that gave you guys the lead.
Oh God! Well, you give Marcus Shaver 7 good looks, and you probably make 4 or 5 of them, and that's a pretty dang good percentage. And our guys did a pretty good job of getting him some looks. And had we do it over again in a perfect world, I'd like him to get 14 looks against them and knock off about 10 of those turnovers, and then you play a great game. But hey, that's easier said than done. They're a good defensive team, and they're it's hard to get a good shooter a lot of looks, but we did tonight. And like you said, he gets 17 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists. That's pretty impressive.
I wanted to ask about the 7 assists. He's obviously kind of emerged as a really successful distributor over the last couple of games. There was that pass through traffic the game before. I think it was with Najee for the dunk. Why do you think his vision seems to suddenly?
Oh, because he's always had it. We're the thing that we haven't ever talked about. We weren't able to put the ball in his hands. He was playing one-handed. He hurt his paw, and no, he's not Stella.
No.
He hurt his.
But I understand.
She hurt her paw the other day. That's what I was thinking about. He hurt her.
It's all good. You're like me today. I'm rubbing off.
Yeah. No,
sorry.
He had that bad left hand where it was swollen. He couldn't dribble with his left hand for the first month of the season. So we wanted to have the ball in his hands more, but he had 3 of the fingers were taped together. Can you imagine trying to So now it's coming alive, and it's, you know, it's almost back to 100%. It's pretty close. So the ball gets to be in his hand more, and we want it in his hands more, because like what you saw tonight is. And then, you know, the hard thing for EE spends so much energy at the point and guarding a point guard, because he's a disruptor at guarding a point guard a lot of times, that we've got to give Marcus more reps at the point now that he's healthy, because that'll help E be able to play fresher down the stretch and shoot better. You know, sometimes when you take the guy off the ball a little bit, he gets cleaner looks and more rhythm looks, instead of, you know, having to come up, bring it up against him, and then pressure it a lot, bring it up against that, and then get us into offense. You know, it's hard to get a clean look after that.
Were you guys focusing on rebounding in practice? I mean, 34-21 advantage.
That's always, and we know that we're a good rebounding team. Because look at the teams we played; they're all good rebounding teams. There's nobody we haven't played that can't rebound, and so that's a weapon for us. And we knew it was, and you know, to out-rebound them by 13 and get 9 offensive boards, that, you know, we needed every one of them.
Not only were you guys fighting to get back into the win column tonight, but I would sense that if I were you guys, I'd be a little bit sad, maybe, because you lost a player today. I don't know.
Yeah,
if
it was an emotional week, and we had the tough overtime loss, and you know, Dean Ayers is always going to be a Bronco for us, and that's hard, you know, when you have to do but that's what the team needed, and I always have to look out for the team. That's my job, and so yeah. But it makes for an emotional, tough week for everybody, and because you know we're about our culture and about our team, and so those situations are rough.
I know you're obviously not going to come out and say that, you know, we got better or whatever because of it, but I mean, you think about what Tyson and what some of the other guys that are getting those minutes provide for what the team needs in terms of ball movement and things like that. How do you look at what you lost and what you're gaining maybe in those minutes?
I'm not going to look back at all. You know, and I'm not going to speak any ill or anything bad about Dean Ayer. It is what it is. The focus is correct in the fact that now we got a freshman who's kind of got up to speed a little bit, and he's just getting his feet wet, and he's going to get better and better and better. And you know, and the great thing about Tyson, like Abu said, what was his quote about him about learner or what? Abu's got the great mindset. A growth mindset. Yeah, Abu's got he reads a lot.
Give her credit for being the only one that remembered that.
You didn't cheer tonight?
No, I did.
She did.
We just
quick
were
change
tonight.
Yeah,
quick
that's
change.
Awesome. Like Tyson, like he's still making some mistakes that are freshmen. Like Horn gets that 3 at the end of the half, and that's a predetermined switch, and it's an easy switch, and then he doesn't even catch it and gets shot off. And that was just that quick mental, you know, little freshman mistakes that and the great thing about Tyson is he sees it once, does it once, and he won't do it again. And you know, he'll learn from it. And so you're going to see, I mean, you're going to just watch him blossom in front of your eyes, and you're going to see a visual display of the growth mindset.